Hello and welcome to Boss Rush Island 1. Today we're getting 85 pops using Sod as our hero. Here you want to place it as close as possible to the track and then get another tack shooter close as possible to the track and as far to the right as possible. Get it to a 302. I know I usually like to use a tech bot for Sada. This one isn't really as necessary as most rushes, although it's still nice to have and makes things slightly easier, so I do use it. The reason it's not as needed is because Blasto is going to stop you from using abilities a lot of the time, so it's not going to do as much. Get up a Moab Mauler on Strong as soon as possible, and then sell the Tack Shooter for a second Moab Mauler on Strong with extra range. Actually, I do think not going for extra range would make this a little bit better, just save a little bit of money, but whatever. This isn't perfectly optimized, but I figured I uploaded a video, it was not very good, it was not a great guide, not a great score, and then later someone else uploaded 79 pops, they said it was 80, but whatever, and I figured if I can get 5 more than them, it's worth uploading. So here we're going to spam down some Operation Dart Storms. We get up a 410, and then a 310, and we're trying here to sell the bomb shooter that isn't attacking Blastapopoulos, but we can't sell it because Blast doesn't want you to sell things, but whatever. Once you can sell it, just try your best to do it on time. So here we go, we sell it, we get up the fighter plane, and then the other bomb's also not attacking, so we get up the Operation Dart Storm. We're going to go for 4 of these bad boys real quick. And this strategy is, of course, inspired by Vadium X's, because I forgot that Balloon Trap existed, so that's why my first score sucked, but, he reminded me about that. Very much thank you. After you get down 4 Operation Dart Storms, you can go for a fighter plane, 310, and now we're going to immediately save up for a Balloon Trap. I get the monkey here in the corner, far down and to the right. It doesn't have to be perfect placement, but it does help a little bit. And the balloon trap as well also doesn't have to be perfect. It balances out. Here it's going to get more of the balloons early, but if you get it slightly to the right, then it'll get more Moabs later. But either way, you're going to get pretty much the same money. So once you get the trap up 204, you just want to go back to placing down Operation Dart Storms. We're going to get 7 of them in total here, which is very, very nice. But before we go for the 7th one, we're going to be getting up an Embroiderment Ice Monkey, just a 420. I believe that 4.2 is better than 4.1, however, I could be mistaken. Someone let me know in the comments. But yeah, then we're going to go for the 7th Operation Dart Storm, and you can see here I was leaking the camos, so I just buy Spy Plane on it. If you're ever struggling with camos, buy Spy Plane upgrade. Doesn't hurt you too much money-wise, it's fine. Whatever. And here, my next Embroiderment placement is going to be as far to the right and down as possible as I can get. The reason we're doing to the right is, of course, to hit the boss in more of an area, because to the left, we are already hitting the boss, and to the right, the track extends outwards, so that's why we want it. Anyways, we're going for the big save up, and we're saving up $35,000, although I like to start selling things at about $33,000 or $34,000. These planes to the right, these 4, are the ones that you're able to sell. The ones closer to Blastapopoulos are going to be, Blast won't let you sell them, so we're going to be selling 2 of these guys. I did it at $33,500, and then get the XXL trap. Of course, the XXL trap makes you a ton of money, which is why I was struggling so hard in my first guide. This thing's going to make like $120,000 throughout the run, which is quite worth it in my opinion. $120,000 is more than nothing. I did the math. It's pretty good. But yeah, we're going to be going for the Monkey Town, Monkey City. Alright, just click it as fast as possible. The faster you click it, the more money you'll make on the next trap, so that's why we do it. Each trap is going to be making like $25,000 or whatever. Anyways, now that we have the Monkey City, or Monkey Town, sorry. Well, no, it's a Monkey City, I was right. We're going to be getting back our 7 Operation Dart Storms, and just make sure the 7th one is up by the village because it has jungle drums, and jungle drums is good as damage. Anyways, get down a 104 rubber to gold on last targeting. This guy is of course going to just make more money with the balloon trap. It's super powerful. It will effectively double the amount of money you get from Moab balloons that it affects, so it's not going to be fully double, but it's going to be a pretty big multiplier. You can see me, I'm just making sure that I get embrittlements following Blastapopoulos, so you're going to want to place the embrittlements where and when I do as well. It's pretty basic. I mean, Blastapopoulos, I have small bosses on, but you guys should have, it's the hitbox are the same either way, so you don't have to worry about that, and just place your embrittlements. You see I got the 204 Spectre up, and now we're going to be getting an overclock for it, and just targeting foam so that the camo balloons will go into the trap as well. And I like to bring the foam as far down as possible so that it still hits the track, because Blastapopoulos is of course going to shorten the engineer's range, so it being more down means that it won't automatically retarget. Here you can see I'm saving up a ton of money and not using the overclock. Why am I doing that? Well, once we get about $60,000, we can sell some planes and get the Flying Fortress up. You want to overclock and then upgrade so that you get much more uptime. Blastapopoulos makes overclocking pretty painful, so we really do appreciate that uptime that we get. And then we're going to go for a 502 Cripple Moab on strong as fast as humanly possible, because it gives, I believe it's like a 30 or 40% buff to the Flying Fortress. It's pretty massive, so it's definitely worth getting. And here you can see I'm kind of questioning what exactly we're going to do next, but I just decide, you know, old reliable, let's just start placing down the embrittlement while we save up money. Alright, so we get down another embrittlement Ice Monkey, and we decide to go for a permanent brew. This is going to give a pretty solid 16% attack speed boost and a good amount of damage to both of the planes here. And now that we have the permanent brew, I'd say it's worth it to start going for a Sky Shredder. Of course, the permanent brew adds a good bit of damage and attack speed to the Sky Shredder. And here you can see me, I'm just kind of messing around with placements and looking like, what can I do, what can't I do, what should I do, etc. I didn't fully plan out this guide, but you know, I did a lot. Alright, the Sky Shredder we are going for next, so we're just working on saving for it, and then I get down another embrittlement because I'm worried that the first one's going to run out, and making sure you have the embrittlement down for the Flying Fortress is more important than getting the Sky Shredder a couple seconds early. So yeah, you can see I'm selling the old embrittlements when I can, although it does usually take a while as Blastapopoulos is stunning them a ton, so don't worry too much about it. I mean, they're what, $4,000 each, so it doesn't matter. Here we go for a second overclock. This is to not only add consistency with the first overclock, but also we want to overclock a MAD. This position isn't perfect. I'd actually recommend that if you can, you sell Sada in order to get a slightly higher dartling position. You would just place it exactly where Sada is right now, and that'd be better. Here we have a rare opportunity to sell the XXL trap, and you can see me hesitating, but I decide to do it. Of course, the trap makes a ton of money, but near the end here, once we're trying to afford the MAD, that trap won't be making nearly as much money as it did earlier, so we sell it and get back the $40,000. And so now we have the MAD. We can get it some buffs, which is going to be Jungle Drums, 15% attack speed, an Alchemist as close as possible to it. It's going to be a 401, and this is another 16% attack speed. And here we're going to use the MAD ability. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you use it when I do. It helps with damage a little bit, but it's being mostly blocked by obstacles, so what you could do is wait until Blastapopoulos is really close and use the MAD ability, but it does come with the risk of the ability cooldown being reset by Blastapopoulos, so, you know, there's some pros, some cons. You can do what I do, alright? You'll get the same score, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. There's some RNG, but whatever. Up next, we go for the Super Brit. Of course, buffing damage on the planes and just everything is nice. $26,000 is a pretty low price tag for the amount of damage you get from a super brittle, so it's definitely worth it. And up next, we will be getting the Tax Zone. This guy is extremely price efficient and helps us just to get like one more tier. You don't want to use it throughout the boss run because it fills up the purple meter very quickly, but near the end is fine because, well, you're not being stunned nearly as much as before, so it doesn't matter as much. Here at the end, there's not really much left you can buy, but I decided to go for an Elite Defender, just a 205. This, of course, is just not going to add too much. Maybe it'll help you get just barely one more pop, which is always nice to have. It's just good to spend your money, right? It's a good habit to get into. Spend it as fast as possible. It's great in real life too. But anyways, I hope this guide helped you out. Leave a like, subscribe for next time. Use code YOBOY in the shop, that's YOBOY, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace out.